Hey, scholars. One final video for this class, and this is a quick recap for the final exam preparation. So what chapters are we going to be reviewing, and do we need to be fully up to speed on for the final exam? Chapter 11, which is supply chain management. Chapter 2 out of my book, which is inventory management. Chapters 13 and 15, aggregate planning, S&OP, and short-term scheduling. And then chapter 16 and 17, just-in-time, TPS, lean operations, and then maintenance and reliability as the final chapter. So quite a bit of material here. What do we need to know to be able to do well on the exam? So with supply chain management, what are the critical things there? We talked about the main things that an operation manager has to do to be able to understand whether his or her supply chain is performing or not. That's in your textbook. And we also looked at my book and looked at the supply chain at Walmart and the way that they manage their supply chain. They have a 13 points, I think it was, maybe 14 points that each supplier has to meet, or they're not going to, in fact, be a supplier for Walmart. So know those at a minimum, but of course there's others. Next, on inventory management, the EOQ model that comes to mind is one of the things that obviously you're going to need to be able to do a EOQ calculation. And as far as inventory goes, what is inventory? What's a good definition of inventory? How do we define it if we're a balance sheet? How do we define it if we're an operations manager? And I know those. There were 3 of each. We looked at some other math around inventory, optimum levels of inventory to hold, and you should be able to do that math. So let's go on to the next chapter here, which is aggregate planning and S&OP. First, you need to know what aggregate planning is. It's a midterm plan. Range from 3 months to 18 months. Why do we do those as an operation manager? What is an S&OP, a sales and operating plan? What do we use that for? And what are the key things if you were running a plant that you would ensure you had in terms of either of those documents? So you just got to know the basic and fundamentals to be able to answer those. Short-term scheduling, you have to know about how do I ensure that I'm able to meet the needs of the forecast on a short-term basis. Typically it's 1 week, maybe 1 month. Sometimes it's by the hour. But what are the demands on my organization, and do I have the resources in place to in fact meet those demands? Just in time, TPS and lean. I just posted a video on that. Watch that video. It's only 4 minutes. And maintenance and reliability, the same thing. There's math. Certainly in maintenance and reliability, I want you to know that math, how you calculate reliability, what you look at in terms of overall cost of maintenance, to be able to minimize your overall maintenance expense and to maximize reliability. So that's it. That's give you something to work on in terms of studying. It's not going to be an easy exam. Make sure to bring a calculator with you that has a square root button on it. And we'll see you all on Tuesday.